To make this beautiful blanket, we're going to be using this medium-sized yarn in yellow. We're going to be using 3 of the yellow, 1 of the brown, and 3 of this beautiful mint color. It's very similar to Tiffany blue. A crochet hook. I decided to use the 4.25mm crochet hook, but you can use the one that is recommended in the label, which is 5.5mm. We're going to be using these stainless steel pins to block the granny squares, pair of scissors, blocking mats to block the granny squares, a yarn needle to weave in the tails at the end. Designs, unique expressions. Hello everyone, welcome back to Uri Design Studio. Today I'm going to share with you how you can create this granny square sunflower blanket. I'm still working on it. I'm going to add more granny squares. As you can see, I made 11 more and I'm going to continue making it bigger. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you tips on how you can determine how many squares you need for the desired length of your blanket. So let's get going. Let me share with you how you can make this blanket as well. We're going to start with the brown yarn, making a magic ring or magic circle. Let me show you a simple way. Wrap around the yarn this way, making an X, holding it like this. Turn around your hand, put the hook underneath one of the yarn, on top of the other one, pull the yarn through, and then you have the circle. You're going to close it a little bit, but not too much, and hold the circle with your left hand if you are right-handed, or vice versa. Close the circle with one chain, just like this, and now we're going to start making 12 half double crochet. The way to make half double crochet is by yarn over once. Put your hook inside the ring, pull the yarn through. You have now 3 loops. Yarn over and pull the yarn through all 3 loops. Let's do one more. Yarn over once, put your hook inside the ring, pull the yarn through. Now you have 3 loops. Yarn over and pull the yarn through all 3 loops. I will meet you at the end of this first round. I'm on my last half double crochet to finish all 12. Now I'm going to close the ring by pulling the tail tightly like this. And now we're going to make a slip stitch to close this round here on the top of the first half double crochet, making sure I'm grabbing both loops on top, pulling the yarn through the loop completely this way. And that's a slip stitch. Now we're going to cut the yarn to finish this round, leaving a tail to weave at the end. And pull your yarn this way, and now we're ready to start round number 2 with the yellow yarn. So we're gonna start right here in this one. We're gonna just grab the yarn here and put it through, and we're gonna just make a knot, just one knot, leaving a very long tail here to weave it at the end. Now we're going to insert the hook right here, pull the yarn through, and we're going to make 2 chains up, yarn over, put the hook inside the same space, pull the yarn through, yarn over again, and put the hook inside the same space, pull the yarn through. Now you have 5 loops all together. Put the yarn through all 5 loops, close the puff stitch with a chain, and then make another chain to make another puff stitch in the next space right here, making sure you are grabbing both of the loops on the top and making your small puff stitches all around until you have 12 small puff stitches with one chain in between. I will continue making all these small puff stitches until I meet you at the end. Now we are at the end of this second round. We're going to close it with a slip stitch right here on the top where you first started the second round. Just going to yarn over, pull the yarn through like this. For round 3, we're going to go up 2 chains. Now we're going to make 12 puff stitches, yarn over, put the hook right here in the same space, yarn over and pull the yarn through. Now you have 3 loops on the top right here, yarn over, pull your yarn through the second loop, yarn over, put the hook inside the same space, pull the yarn through. Now we have 4 loops, yarn over, put the yarn through the second loop. Now we have 3 loops, and we also have 3 stitches here at the bottom, including the 2 chains that we made at the beginning of the round. We want 4 stitches at the bottom, so we're gonna make another one now. And now we have 4 stitches on the bottom and 4 loops on the top. We're gonna yarn over and pull the yarn through all the loops, and that's the first puff stitch of this round, and we're going to close it with a chain on the top, just like this. Okay, so now we're going to make a chain and continue making more puff stitches in the next space available, just like this, until we do 12 puff stitches all around. Okay, so it has to be 4 stitches on the bottom and 5 loops on the top for the rest of your puff stitches. Remember, the first one was a little bit different because we started with 2 chains right here. So continue making the count of 5 loops on the top and 4 stitches on the bottom. We're gonna close this puff stitch and make a chain. Let's finish this one together. Making sure you're counting your stitches. And you're gonna continue making the puff stitches all around, and I'll meet you right here at the end. Now I'm at the end of round 3. Let me cut the yarn. And now I'm going to just insert the hook on the top stitch where we started our round 3, and then pull it through. Okay, so now I'm gonna grab my background color, which is this beautiful minty color, and I'm going to just insert my hook here, pull the yarn through. make a knot. Inserting the hook right here, we're going to make 3 chains to start the new round. And then we're going to create triple crochet or treble crochet. You're gonna do yarn over twice, insert the hook in the same space, pull your yarn through, yarn over on the first 2 loops, yarn over on the next 2 loops, and yarn over on the next 2 loops. So after you make these 2, we're gonna make 2 chains and then 2 triple crochet. Yarn over twice, put the hook in the same space, pull the yarn through, yarn over, put the yarn through the second loop, yarn over, put the yarn through the second loop again, and yarn over and put the yarn through the last 2 loops. Let's do one more. Okay, so that consists of the corner. The first corner is going to look a little different because we started with 3 chains up, the triple crochet, 2 chains, and then 2 triple crochet. Now we're going to work on the side here between the corners. The sides are going to consist of 2 sets of double crochet in between the corners. Yarn over, put your hook in the next available space right here, pull the yarn through, yarn over in the second loop, yarn over in the next 2 loops. That is our first double crochet. Now we're going to do another one. Yarn over, first 2 loops, the next 2 loops. Very simple. We're going to do a third one, and we're going to make another set of 3 double crochet right here. This is going to complete the first side of our square. Now we're going to do another corner. So we're going to do 1 treble right here in the next space. I'm going to do this 1 treble. I'm going to do another treble. Now we're going to do 2 chains, and then we're going to do another set of trebles. 2 trebles together. As you can see, we completed the first side. We have the 2 corners. Now we're going to turn it around and continue making the square. We're going to make 2 sets of 3 double crochet in another corner. Okay, so let's do another corner. Now we completed 3 corners. Now we're going to continue making another set of double crochet. Remember, it's 3 double crochet in the same space, 2 times, and then we're going to make another corner and another side to complete this granny square. And to make sure that you have the tension right, make sure you allow yourself enough yarn to be able to pull freely. I'm going to cut the yarn and I'm going to just do a slip stitch on top of this stitch here where I started my last round, making sure that I grab both loops. And that's it for the first granny square. I'm going to weave in the ends. This one, it's already weaved in because I crochet on top of the tail, so I'm going to just cut it. This one the same, I'm going to just cut it. And for those that I need to weave in the ends, I'm going to use a yarn needle. But first, let me show you what to do when you run out of yarn. I make sure I align both together and I make a knot right here. And I make another one on the other side, the same way. And after I pull both yarn, kind of like kissing both knots together. I get my pair of scissors and I cut the tiny ends, and that's how you make the magic knot. To weave in the tails is very simple. I use a yarn needle So what I usually do is I just weave in the ends this way. I go around here in the same color yarn, and I do a couple of stitches down, and then I go up different directions. And that's all. Before I put together all the granny square, I'm going to block them by putting them in this mat all together using these pins that are stainless steel. I am aligning them, making sure they're all more or less measure the same when I stretch them, and I'm going to spray them with water, let them dry, and then I'm going to attach them together. I'm going to start by making a slip knot, leaving a tail to weave in at the end. I'm going to put my squares this way, both facing the back of each other, just like this. I'm going to start by attaching this side first. I'm going to pay attention to the corners, very important. Remember, we did 2 triple crochet and then 2 chains in between. So this chain here is going to belong to the side here when I attach this side. And this one here, it's going to be for the other side that I'm going to do right now. So first I'm going to grab this one, just like this, And for this square, because it's not facing the front, it's a little harder to see the stitches. So just turn around your square this way so you can see the top and grab the stitches here. Now you're gonna insert the hook here. You have both squares attached. Pull your yarn through both here. Now you have 2 loops on the top, yarn over and pull it through. That is your first single crochet. We're gonna continue making single crochet to attach the squares along the way here. So this is the way it looks. So pretty. And I'm going to just continue adding along the way. Now I like to add a chain in between these two to give a little bit more room. So we're gonna do 1 chain. So then we're gonna continue. It's gonna be not this one, but this one. This is my last stitch, putting this granny square together. I'm going to make a big loop so I don't lose my stitches. This is 12 stitches to attach each, okay, and I'm going to continue attaching this, going this direction, and then I'm going to show you how to go on the other opposite direction. Now I'm attaching the granny square going in the opposite direction. It could be a little tricky. Let me show you something to consider. Going in this direction, I'm going to make sure that my single crochet are going to be on the top all across the other ones that are going in the opposite direction. That way my blanket looks more uniform. After I add all the squares, I'm adding a border. Let me show you how. I'm going to make a slip knot, leaving a tail to weave in at the end. And I'm going to start by putting my yarn here in the corner, making 2 chains to start, 2 double crochet and 2 chains to make the corner. And then I'm going to continue making double crochet all around my blanket. When approaching the intersection, just do 1 stitch for each side, and then you continue making double crochet in each stitch on top right here. I decided to make another round. So I'm finishing the first round of border with a slip stitch. I'm going to go up 1 chain, 2 single crochet in the corner space, 2 chains, 2 more single crochet in the corner space, and I'm going to continue making single crochet in each stitch all around my blanket. For the corner, it's going to be 2 single crochet, 2 chains, 2 single crochet. Let me show you what to do when you get to the intersection to make the border look straighter. We're going to make single crochet 2 together right here You're gonna insert the hook, yarn over, pull it through. You have 2 loops. Now you're gonna insert the hook in the next available space here, right on top of the intersection. Yarn over, pull the yarn through. Now you have 3 loops, yarn over, pull it through all 3 loops. That is a single crochet 2 together. You're gonna repeat that in each intersection to make your border look straighter. Now I'm at the end of this border round, so I'm going to just close it with a slip stitch right here. I'm going to cut the yarn to weave in the tail. And as I mentioned to you at the beginning of the video, here is a tip to help you determine how many squares you need for the desired size of your blanket. Keep in mind that you need to first measure your first granny square because the tension of your crocheting is different than mine. Also keep in mind that you need to make sure that you use the same yarn that I'm using and either the 4.25 millimeters hook or the 5.5. In the description box, I'm going to provide a link for you to download the information I gave you to determine the size of the blanket. Thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.